As well, we'll bring you those as the game develops. Round 6 underway in hard jacket, totally workwear. VFL, Bruce won the tap down. Not quite to advantage though to Smith. Casey looking to get the first forward entry of the day. The hand pass up towards half forward. Not all that effective. Now trying to work away for some danger. Here is Langford. He's held up by Sparrow. Now a secondary tackle by Houlihan, and a ball up on this broadcast side of Windy Hill, just forward of centre wing for last year's runner-up, the Casey Demons. Bruce trying to win it down to Di Pasquale. Ground level. Here's Peter Mercado.
So Ruckman nominating. Same Ruckman as before. Reid working with Bruce. Bruce trying to get into that front position. And a second effort is good as well. Working into the middle of the ground. Loudon, the 23rd play today for Casey. And there'll be a free kick. It'll go the way of the Demons. And getting himself to his feet is Mitch Lewis. Edge of the square on centre wing. He's going to go across the ground and finds Freeman. Freeman's kick up the line is a good one. They'll do it by short kick. Di Pasquale has it. And he's on true centre wing. Right near the benches as he kicks inside 50. No one could take the mark. Coming through Bedford. Handball is off target. And the Bombers with a chance to clear right near the boundary line. And Noonan takes it over. We will have it thrown in. No scorers yet. Minute and a half on the clock. Round 6 action in the hard yakka totally workwear VFL.
It's our third look at the Bombers here on VFL Live this year, and we've enjoyed what they've produced. They are the form team of the VFL. Berry had a very interesting goal celebration last week against the Cats. Long kick to the wing. Only gets it as far as Tom Freeman for Casey. Centre wing. Cookson stand side of the grounds here at Windy Hill. The drop punt towards half forward in front of the cricket nets. 2-on-2 contest. Braden Bruce put the mitts up. There was a push and a free kick to the Bombers. That's going to be taken by Liam Reid, playing only his second game of the season in red and black. So he's got the free kick right half back. As you said, Peter, in the long sleeves, easy to spot for us today is he sends a high lobbing ball toward the wing. Didn't quite get it anywhere near his target in the end. That was Sibold, boundary throw in, still forward of centre wing, right in front of the gates near the Casey bench. As Hilly said, Jade Rawlings is coaching from ground level today. Dan Jordan up in the grandstand, which I'm assuming is in the Reynolds stand. Boundary throw in. Fell short there. Bruce did well to get the tap down and hand pass off to Sparrow, but his kick up towards half forward, no good. McNeese has it for the Bombers.
Yep, and he's at defensive 50, so he looked to go with a shorter ball. Oh, missed his target, was looking for Clark. It's been cut off. And working here is Baker. He sends Casey long up towards the top of the goal square. Beats the initial. Baker's going to bounce through. Well, it'll either bounce through or be picked up by Munro, the 101 gamer. And it's...
I think Munro's claiming the goal, Pete. There's lots of high-fiving.
He socketed it.
He did. The ball was running through anyway. I don't know exactly why he did that, but anyway, we'll give that one to Munro. First goal on the board. 1 straight 6 plays, no score. 3.5 gone in this opening quarter here on VFL Live.
Just as we got underway, Pete, the wind has actually just picked up a little bit at ground level. It might be favouring left of screen. Maybe a goal's worth.
We're just having a look on the replay. And
like Daniel Wells almost, the Jackie Chan type.
We'll give him the benefit of the doubt with that.
Hello to Jason Bennett if you're watching. Back in the middle. One of the most famous calls. So we've got what appears to be a 666 warning as an Essendon player came off the bench. That was Josh Tynan, who's in the headgear today. So a warning for the Bombers for starting positions. And a clearance out of the middle from Baker. We're inside 50 once more. McNeese trying to spin away from danger. Langford fumbled through the legs of Berry.
Oh,
just a little scuffle off play here.
It's McNeese and also Munro who were wrestling there.
Free kick to the Bombers here inside defensive 50. And here is Tynan, who is in the headgear today. The kick is an interesting one toward the outer side. Mosquitoes in the region, but it is a Casey ball. We're going inside 50 and dropping back in the hole. That's a very nice mark taken by Tynan. Back pocket for the Bombers, and he doesn't have any obvious target to go to, so long down the line's his best option.
Yep, it worked out okay too. The chance to really load up here.
Free
Bombers,
kick.
no, it's a free kick going the other way. It was a push out. Sparrow to take it for Casey. As he kicks the ball deep inside the 50. They fly. No one could take the mark. Off hands. Quick kick out of the pack. And just missing is Mitch White, the skipper. Through for a behind. 1-1-7. Plays no score. We've got 5 minutes. 5.5 minutes gone in this opening quarter. Here at Windy Hill today. The breeze has lightened slightly as Hartley goes long outside the 50. No one could take the mark. Running onto it again is Sparrow. He did a good job. Hands off. Now kick inside the 50. Again, no one can take the mark. A little clearing ball from Heppel outside the 50. It's a bit scrappy at the moment. Here's Lazaro. Nino working his way up towards centre wing with the kick. It's bouncing towards a very, very vacant area and goes over and it's out of bounds. It's deliberate because I don't know where else he was kicking it to.
Every Bombers player was within 70 metres of Casey's goal there, so they've just lost a bit in terms of structure at the moment.
Lewis to take the kick.
Half forward, a lot of players converge. Bruce jumped from the back. Heppel's kick to get it back towards centre wing. Here's Mosquito's first involvement in the game. He tried to get the little tap on. All he did, though, was pick out Harrison Petty. Ball up on the wing out of side.
So just a note, of course, in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL this season, the AFL listed players keep their numbers from the AFL list. So there's a few jumper number changes from last season.
It's a big jump for Jack Hutchins in particular, going from number 1 to number 60. As Langford is forced out of play.
But that's not a reflection on his ability either.
Absolutely not. Nice tackle there by Mitch White.
Just to get incentivised a little bit. Chance to make it your own. The famous number 60.
It's a fair jump. It's a 59-point jump. Throw in. Reed behind Bruce this time. It fell to ground level and it bounced away from Heppel. And the hand pass does actually work out for Baker. Gets away from some danger. The kick was smothered off the boot, though, by Long, so that won't be a mark for Langford. Had to go back, and Hartley gets his kick away towards this broadcast side. Bouncing ball picked up by Houlihan. Went to the voice nicely there of Lamp, but then his handball wasn't great for Ridley. Ground level, is it coming out? Good tackle there by Sparrow. Demons trying to work something out here. Di Pasquale, then White rushed off his kick. Did that go 15? Yes, according to the umpire. Mark taken by Clark.
He's not sure where he wants to go to, Dylan Clark, so he's going to go back towards the interchange benches on our broadcast side and find Ridley, who takes a good mark. He's at half back. And he goes with a medium-sized kick and finds Clark.
Bombers is playing keepings off here, but not gaining much territory.
Well, the switch potentially is on. That's going to be ignored, and the kick goes up the line. Big pack of players coming through here, and that's a good mark by Petty for Casey, who works it into the middle of the ground. Wagner did well under pressure, took the mark. Just backward of the centre square as he kicks across the ground, and they've gone to the outer side. Gent takes it. What a player he's been for the Demons over the journey. The kick, trying to find Chandler to go back in, get the footy along his teammate out there, and we'll have it thrown in into attack for Casey. It's 1-1-7, the Demons. Essendon yet to score. We've played 8 minutes in this opening quarter. We'll give you a score update from Port Melbourne in a moment.
Ben McNeese, the leading disposal getter on the ground so far with 4. Reed gets the jump on Bruce that time. Ground ball. Trying to escape from the pressure there was Gents. Goes back to ground. It's a hot footy to win here. Berry with the tackle. Houlihan involved as well for the Bombers. It was eventually extracted by Heppel. Clark and then McNeese, and the kick toward the wing is good for Bruno Laguda, who's been in good form for Essendon due to Stars in the Essendon District League.
Oh, there's the mention.
Gets his first game today for the Bombers. There might be a few more.
I know.
High ball, only if it's relevant.
Oh.
Big jump. First real inside 50 of the day for the Bombers. An unrealistic attempt at the mark.
Noah Gown, blimey.
He's taken himself out and
Houlihan.
and a teammate.
That's Houlihan. So free kicks to Casey. Short ball, Sparrow takes the mark, and a couple of trainers now making their way out, but they've got to work their way around the plate because this is still very close to where
But it means that they're a man down, effectively, here, the Bombers.
So Casey, can they pick a way through as the kick comes to the wing? Right towards half forward, not a great ball though. Zerk Thatcher in the right spot for the Bombers, and he'll reclaim things on half back, and Gowns now making his way off for Essendon.
It's coming towards you, Hilly. They need to make that change quick. As Zerk Thatcher trying to get around the traffic, he was dispossessed. Incorrect disposal. And Smith to take the free kick. His little chipping ball is okay. And he finds Baker. So Baker inside the 50. Tight angle though. He'll line up and have a shot from 45 out. As Gown makes his way off the ground, they've made that interchange. Hilly, how does he look?
I just looked a little groggy, if anything. Might have been winded as well with the fall, so he just looks a little out of sorts at the moment. I'd expect him to be back in action soon.
So Baker's kick from 45 is across the face and through for one behind. 1-2-8. Casey, Bombers yet to score. 11 gone in this opening quarter on the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live today. Good lead for Port Melbourne. They lead 2-1-13 to no score. 11 minutes into the first out there.
Harley ran out of the square, then went the long kick toward the outer side. It's up for grabs here at ground level. Lant tried to get a touch on it. Needed some help. That was eventually provided by Heppel, who's been in and under a fair bit today. Now Clark, Berry, all the way back to McNeese. The left foot chip over the top for Laguda. He was in battle that time against Nick Loudon, the 23rd man for Casey, and it's actually going to be a Casey ball here. Might have been an illegal push, and Loudon's going to go one way and the other. Eventually the right foot ball around a corner. It's bouncing. Eventually it was picked up by Reed. Handball initially missed there by Tynan. Zerk Thatcher, he clears away for Essendon. High ball towards the centre square. Houlihan. It's recovered from the earlier knock. Takes a nice mark on the wing.
No one inside 50 for the Bombers.
Switching ball for Danny Unan. Goes with the hand pass to Long. Inside 50 now, and that's a nice, neat little pass for Josh Begley. The mark's been set at 49 metres on the 45-degree angle, and he is thinking about a shot. This is where I'll bring Hilly into the conversation to get a bit of a read on the wind.
Yeah, well, that wind has picked up since the game has started, so this will be a good test whether he can actually kick the distance. I'd say under normal circumstances he'd cover the distance here, but let's just see if it holds up in the breeze.
This is typically the part of the ground where you get that protection from the Reynolds stand. This time the kick, though, was hooked off the boot and didn't quite get good purchase, so it lands at the top of the square. Demons need to work this out on the last line of defence, and they will. Clearing kick there by Jordan. Very high ball, Zerk Thatcher in the right spot, infringed upon in the marking contest, and the Bombers are going back inside 50.
Yep, they want to get a move on with this. Zerk Thatcher looking across the ground instead of up forward, so he's going to go backwards. And he goes there to find Ridley. Ridley will find D, and now they're at the back edge of the centre square. His kick going up the line is not the best. It almost held up in the breeze. Unan picks it up though. He's gang tackled to the ground, released the footy. Good tackling pressure here by the Demons, particularly Bedford, who's on top of McNeese. Oh, and there's a free kick for a push out as well. Just a little bit too crude there. And it'll be Hocking to take the free kick, but he's turned the footy over in the middle of the ground. Coming through McAfee to take it. His kick is long, and they've got him on the overlap. Bruce takes the mark, and he'll line up directly in front, 25 metres out.
This will be Bruce's fourth touch already, 6 hit outs. Had a good start.
He certainly has, Adam, and you can tell at ground level, just his imposing size is worrying the Bombers already.
So Braden Bruce, player whose career we've followed certainly here on VFL Live over the last couple of years. He steps in, his kick, he stabs at it, but it's effective and it works. And they got their second on the board. Gee, not many Casey fans here today. They're all watching at home in the warm. 2-2-14 plays, no score. We've gone 14 minutes in this opening quarter here on VFL Live.
Fair to say it's a lengthy drive from Casey. They'll be at home next week against Port Melbourne, right here on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live. I'm kind of hoping they're not wearing this strip against Port Melbourne, because that might be a clash.
I don't think that's going to happen.
You'd hope not. You'd hope not. Anyway, good start here.
You want to be good today. The boss is watching.
For the Demons, 2-2-14. Essendon are yet to score. The top of the ladder team. Not off to a great start. nearly 15 gone here in the opening term. One of 2 games today in the VFL. It's Port Melbourne and Werribee. And we'll go around the grounds there and have a look at what's going on at Adcom Park shortly. Sibbald's into the ruck here for Essendon. Di Pasquale lost it. Langford won it back. Now Berry, short pass for Unit. Unit wanted to get things moving quickly, one way to the other. Eventually goes to his right, finds Ridley. In for his first VFL game of the year, Ridley, all the way back to Zerk Thatcher. Tightly manning the mark there was White. His kick's okay for Ben McNeice. He's now up to 7 disposals in toward the middle of Windy Hill. So careful build up for the Bombers. Now Unit's the target of this one. Takes the mark. Here's Danny Unit. Want a flag on this ground with Taylor's Lakes at local level as he goes in board. McNeice, another touch for him. It's been busy across half-back. This time he's pushed up towards half-forward. And now it's Hartley who's also pushed up. Mark's been set at 55. Hartley to right foot ball. Just going to hold up a touch. There is a hole behind play. Umpire must not have seen it. Advantage for the KC Demons as Wagner kicks away, but it's coming back in. Tynan, Sibbald can go back to McNeice at midfield, decides to hand pass instead to Langford. Left foot inside 50. There is a loose man down there. From here it looks like it's Wilson Berry.
It is. We want him to kick another goal here and see if he does a celebration again.
He's also won some flags at local level on this ground in recent years for Aberfeldy. Knows this ground very well. He's enjoying some good form here in the VFL at the moment. 22 disposals and 2 goals, 2 last week. 3 goals for the season. Berry comes in, got close to the man on the mark. This will be Essendon's first score. It is across the face for a minor one. One behind, plays 2-2-14. 17 gone.
James Jordan kicks to himself, then kicks into the player in front of him, falls to Mosquito, although he fumbled. I haven't seen that before. Just at the crucial moment, Langford coming through. They've still got the opportunity. Hocking as they get the handball out. Now an opportunity off the outside of the boot. It was untidy from Lazaro, and he kicked it into the player in front of him. It's out of bounds. We will have it thrown in about 10 metres around. He tried to follow up his work there, Nino. Right on the boundary line, try kick goal of the year. Wasn't going to happen. 7.5 gone in this opening quarter as we wait for this ball to be thrown in deep into attack for the Bombers. It's been all Casey in this opening term. Trying to get the tap down was Buxton Wales, and it falls here. Quick kick out of the pack. Opportunity, missed the loss. Josh Begley. And it is out of bounds on the full, so a free kick to the Demons in the last line of the fence. There is that famous number 60 of Jack Hutchins. Adam.
Short pass, looked dangerous for a moment, but was okay because it fell to Freeman eventually, and now Casey will escape D50. This kick has to be okay, and it is. It's in the hands of Jordan. He'll go laterally. Petty missed the mark. Now this might be an opening for the Bombers. Land with the tackle. Hutchins there for support. Did well in the end. Did the experienced head there of Jack Hutchins. And they are out of danger now. High kick towards the wing here. Bouncing ball. And a foot race where Gent leads it. But the bounce didn't favour him. Gets it now to Gent. The quick kick. Is that delivered out of bounds? No. Boundary throw in. Right near to cricket nets here at Windsor Hill. McNeice up to 8 disposals. Oscar Baker has 5, leading the way for the Demons. As we'll have this boundary throw in at the straight half-forward flank area. You can see that boundary line's a little tricky. It catches many people out in that part of the ground. Unit received the handball from Langford, but couldn't quite get full purchase. Now Di Pasquale inside 50, tried to pick out his captain there in white. No mark was taken. Long range handball over the top by Wagner. It was effective. Now to kick toward the hot spot's okay as well. Oscar Baker takes the mark and really should not miss here.
He's a really exciting footballer, Adam. Really like Oscar Baker. We've seen a fair bit of him in the last 12 months. He has had a few injuries that kept him out for extended periods, but when he is up and moving, he's a very, very quick player across the ground and has great hands, as you saw there. Drifted forward, took the mark.
Looking to kick his 5th goal of the season after booting 2 against the Dogs last week. Baker to extend the lead out to 19 points. He kicks truly, and he's happy about it as well. A nice start here for Casey. 3-2-20 to 0-1-1, and time on is right now. 20 minutes exactly gone.
Around the grounds, 4-1-25, Port Melbourne leading Werribee, no score. 19 minutes gone in the opening quarter there. Dion Johnston with a goal. I think they're all single goal kickers over there at Adcon Stadium. And in the AFL, both matches underway. Quarter time, actually, in the first of the matches. Brisbane Lions by 9, 28 plays 19 and 13 plays 10 into the second quarter at the MCG. Collingwood leading there. We'll keep you up to date with all those scores throughout the afternoon. Meanwhile, 3-2-20 plays, one behind here at Windy Hill. The ball back in the middle. Reid into the ruck, working there with Quigley. Stalemate. The umpire will come back in again. Overcast conditions at Windy Hill today.
Just a little bit of light rain, just starting to fall too, Pete, so make the ground a little slippery.
That wasn't on the radar.
There's Mosquito wrapped up in the tackle. Kick is out. Freeman coming through for Casey. It's a good kick, and they're looking to load up again because here's Chandler, who's got an edge of the square on centre wing. He's kicked deep inside the 50. Not going to find a target. Tim Smith running towards it. Boundary line wins out, and we'll have it thrown in at 40 metres around from the Casey goal. Now the majority of the attacking in this opening term. They lead 3-2-20 to one behind. 21 and a half minutes gone in this opening term. Ball tossed back in. Again, another short throw in, doesn't quite make it. Lafau picked it up. He was immediately tackled, released the footy, and we've got another stalemate. And the umpire will come back in again. Casey
being able to run the interchanges quite well, having the majority of the play at their end of the ground. So it'll be interesting to see in the second quarter if it works out the same.
Reid and Lafau in the ruck contest. No one can get a clean break here as it's held up. Lafau going back in again, not going anywhere in a hurry. We're on 50 as this rain starts to pick up, and there's a push out. It's going to be a free kick going the Bombers' way. Just taking a long time to release the footy. Just waiting there on top was Sparrow. And eventually we sort out the mess, and it's Hocking who goes in short. That just the 15 to D. At centre half back, he'll go even shorter across the ground and find Hartley. Still some pushing and shoving going on. Lafau and Hocking off the ball. Let's keep an eye on that just in front of us. That kick going across the ground, not finding anyone in particular. Now an opportunity. Reid just shot the handball out. Trying to work his way through as Clark, dispossessed. Now has to jump back in and get the footy. Trying to bullock his way through as Lewis for Casey. Just shot the handball out to no one in particular. Now the Demons looking to go forward. It's going to be cut off again. Hartley is there. And his kick goes across the ground. He finds D, who really dropped what he should have taken. Now he's under a little bit of pressure from Lafau. He kicks up the line and is looking there for his teammate in Hocking. Hocking's got one to beat. Did well. Got the handball over the top. Can they get some run going here, the Bombers? It's untidy. McNeese dragged down in the tackle. Going nowhere. Good pressure from the Demons. And the ball will be thrown up at half forward.
Pressure's the right word, Pete. They've certainly brought the pressure all throughout this quarter, and they're really switched on at the moment, dominating this contest.
Play near the Casey bench, so a couple of changes as Briggs and McCaffrey came on for the Demons. High contact here, free kick for the Bombers to be taken by Berry.
Not sure if there was a little bit of acting in that one.
Yeah, the head went back very quickly.
Berry's kick to centre wing. Bruce puts up the mitts, but it was punched away by Sibbald, and now it goes out of play. Another boundary throw in as Tom McCaffrey tried to inject himself into the game. Ben McNeese, the leading disposal getter, on the ground with 8. As we see the boundary umpire throw this one in right at the gates here for Casey. Leading it by 19 points. We're into time on opening term. Bruce tapped down, but no one there. Hocking the clearance. And that was a wobbler, and that falls out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken now here by Petty. 3 contested marks among his 8 last week as he got 16 disposals. No goals yet this year for Petty. As we go down the line here now off the boot of Wagner. And nicely taken in here by D. Essendon rookie now is D. He'll go short. Reid looks ahead. Couple of leads on offer, including Bruno Laguta. And that's off the side of the boot. You can hear the jeers of those Essendon fans in the Reynolds stand as they saw that one on a wayward trajectory, and the Casey Demons again to benefit from a turnover, but their kick wasn't great. Now it's Langford. Hand pass off to D. Nicely funneled its way back to Fennell, and the kick now towards half forward. Jumping at the last moment and taking a nice mark was Horehand. Has shown some signs. Up towards half forward we go for Gown. And he gets a look at the sticks. Kicks on the way, might have hooked it. Maybe a chance for Begley. The fist there from Jet to kill it off. Bombers are 2 behind. Casey are 3-2-20. We've got a margin of 18 points. And we've played 25 and a half minutes in this round 6. Jack, a totally workwear VFL live broadcast today.
Yeah, Freeman doing the kicking out duties. The kick is good, finds Loudon, the 23rd player today. As he goes short for Casey. Still inside defensive 50. Sparrow takes it. Not sure which way he wants to go. So he'll go even shorter. Still on that outer side, Lewis will still cut back in board to Freeman. And now Freeman goes with the long kick. Oh, it's off target though. It's got to be turned over. A chance here for the Bombers as they make their way inside the 50. High ball. Fennell goes for it, gets it.
Great kick.
What a kick. Playing his first game for the Bombers today, or for the season, and he puts his first on the board. He had all that space open up for him, and they get on the board in this opening term. It's late, 26 and a half minutes in. 3-2-20 Casey, 1-2-8 Essendon. We played 26 and a half minutes in this opening quarter as we're looking on our replay screen here at that kick. And what a good kick it was off a step.
On the VFL app, we have Port Melbourne 5-1-31. Ruby just one behind at Adcon Stadium. 2 goals to Blake Pearson. Then it's Dion Johnston, Jordan Lyle and Ed Phillips who have the singles.
And in the AFL, 4-6-30, Brisbane leading the Bulldogs 3-1-19. 3 minutes gone in the second quarter. And 3-3-21, Collingwood leading Carlton 1-4-10. 7 gone in the second term.
Another score there, but I won't read that one out. Back in the middle as Clark is wrapped up. Does spill out at the last moment. Now it's Baker trying to work hard on all fours, but too many red and black jumpers around him. So a secondary ball up. Still inside the centre square. Bombers desperately needed that goal. Maybe it'll spark something now. I was about to say they'll probably go into the quarter-time huddle down, and they will.
We're about to start the second term. It's a 2-goal lead to the Casey Demons.
Forgot to mention, Peter, we are right under the siren here at Windy Hill, so it's going to be quite loud.
I think people worked it out.
It's right above us there. Second term underway, and I might just get a bit more wet here because I feel like it's just dropped a couple of degrees in temperature here in Essendon today. Healy might give us some more on that. We see a secondary ball up here in the centre square.
The forecast said 17. Adam's feeling about 11 at the minute.
It's definitely not 17. I looked at the radar this morning as well, and we're in for a dry day. So if we do get much more rain, I doubt it's going to be significant. So we'll get a third stoppage. Looks like a bit of the centre wicket's been kicked up as well. Don't know if that has occurred early in this second or perhaps during the first quarter, but a little bit of mud's been kicked up there. Still, the ball has not escaped the confines of the square. Finally, a rash kick forward by Quigley. It does now escape the square. Has it gone 15? It has. Mark taken there by Bedford. Looks ahead. Fairly flooded 50, so he goes toward the pocket. Tried to put it into the right spot there for Smith, and he does. Mark, and a shot on goal coming up for Casey. Tim Smith. He's kicked 3 goals from 3 games so far this year. And he's right up against the fence in front of the Reynolds stand. So they can restore what was a 3-goal lead earlier in the first term here. Bombers did kick the last goal of the opening term by Ben Fennell. A nice finish. He would have to weave this one through. On the wrong side for a right footer, and he does so. A well-threaded kick. And Casey lead by 18 once more, 4-2-26 to 1-2-8, and Smith gets his 4th goal of the season.
Yeah, as Jade said, he's really happy with the start to the game, and we've started the second quarter and they've started in the same intensity around the footy, and it's helped produce the first goal of the second quarter and take a 3-goal break.
How much of an effect the not having Sam Draper in the ruck will have on the Bombers today?
Yes, I thought you You could see that in the first quarter, that Braden Pruce was really on top in the ruck, and Sam Draper was having a phenomenal season before going down last week, so really disappointing news for him. And we had only interviewed him, obviously, 2 weeks ago after his best on-ground performance against Collingwood.
So, again, no one can get clear. Good tackling pressure again by the Demons. Ball spilling just forward of centre for them. But McNeese comes in, hacks a kick up towards centre-half forward for the Bombers. No one can get clean possession here. Opportunity for Begley, who handballs just into open space. Munro coming in to try and cut it off. But the tackle was a bit crude from his Bombers opponent in Sibbald, and he will take the free kick. Inside defensive 50. Kick across the ground is a good one. And nicely done, Jordan. Still at defensive 50, right near his interchange bench. The kick up the line, up towards centre wing. Bruce flew, couldn't bring it down to ground. Still an opportunity though for the Demons. Working here, Chandler. Got the handball around Lewis. Back to Chandler, whose kick is partially smothered. Now in dispute, getting in there is Union. Oh, that's a high tackle. It's going to be a Casey free kick. Ridley just a little bit too high on Jordan. And the latter will take the free kick. It's back towards defensive 50 to Freeman, who goes even further afield to Petty, who goes onto that outer side and finds Hutchins. So Hutchins looking to go with a short ball. It didn't hit its intended target. It actually bounced back towards Hutchins, but he's got 2 to beat. It's near the boundary line, will be thrown in. So win there for the Bombers on that outer side, but it is 4-2-26, 1-2-8. Casey leading almost 4 minutes into this second quarter.
Bruce and Reid come across now to contest the ruck. Over on that Bowls Club side of the ground here at Windy Hill. Gent missed it. Hard ball to win here. Clark did well to eventually extract it, and comes eventually out to Ridley. Gets a quick kick inside 50. Hutchins in the right spot. Takes a nice mark for the Casey Demons. Former captain, of course, looking only one way, and that's down the line. Doesn't want to switch. He knows how damaging this Essendon side can be. Long didn't take the mark in the end, and that might have drawn the ire of a couple of the Essendon fans here. He just kept it in front of him. Eventually, we've got a stoppage. Munro on the bottom of the pack, ball up.
Speaking of Munro, Adam, we're going to hear from him at halftime. He played game 100 last week.
And that was a 17-point loss in a low-scoring affair against Footscray. Themselves have had a great start to the season. Couple of flags in their recent history here in the VFL. Eventually it comes out and White goes inside 50, and a nice one-handed mark is taken by Smith. He can go back and kick his second. Nice ball in by White as well, Hilly.
Well, yeah, and Tim Smith taking another contested mark there, and he's just looking really dangerous at the moment. Certainly hungry at the moment for a few goals, and the supply keeps coming in like that, one-on-one inside 50, no one else around. I think he could be in for a good day.
This will be a game-high 24-point lead if he kicks it. In fact, if he misses, it'll be a game-high 19, I believe. Only 5.5 minutes into the second term as Essendon ring in about 4 changes at once, I think, as Smith from point-blank range kicks the goal. And Casey look good today at Windy Hill, 5-2-32 to 1-2-8, almost 6 gone. Second term.
Seen him do that many a year, Tim Smith, both on Casey's list and then on Melbourne's list as well.
Certainly a promising player for this competition, and one the Casey Demons are relying on today to produce some of their goals in their forward structure. And it's been a really exciting player over the last 12 months or so, and certainly an AFL talent.
So ball back in the middle as Reid and Pruce is going to get the tap down. It's good delivery of the footy. No holding the ball. Call there on Smith as the kick goes up high for the Bombers, heading towards half forward. It takes a wicked bounce and goes over the boundary line.
How was that not holding the ball, Peter?
I don't know.
The umpire, central umpire there, was no more than 3 or 4 metres away when that ball was one-handed dropped to the ground in the tackle. So that was an interesting no call.
Very interesting watching Jade Rawlings here on the bench as the ball down to Pruce, who had it all to himself basically in the end. And the tap down, ball going nowhere. The umpire will come in. not using the headset or any sort of communication from the team that up here behind us. Just preferring to yell out to his players out on the ground.
There's a lot of hand gestures as well.
Yeah, but communicating with the players as they come off. Spruce again gets the tap down. Fennell trying to come through with the footy. Another stalemate. And communicating with his runner.
He's looking very much like an NBA coach at the moment as he strides up and down.
So you get the little whiteboard out and just draw out some instructions as well there, Hilly.
We just saw on our replay screen the potential holding the ball. There might have been some delivery there. Meanwhile, the ball's going to be thrown in. Again, right near the Casey interchange bench. The Bombers fans getting a little bit restless.
Speaking of NBA, I think there's a bit of tension between me and Hilly after the events right before our game today.
Ball tossed back in. You might want to expand on that point in a moment as Bruce getting the tap down. Off hands, trying to work his way through Sparrow. Coughed up the footy. Fennell kicks inside the 50 for the Bombers. Flying high, Lazaro couldn't take the mark. Oh, that's too high. It's a high tackle. It's going to be a Bombers free kick. It's going the way of Houlihan.
They're feeling a bit hard done by the Bombers fans. Some Bronx cheers certainly erupted there.
We know whose home ground we're playing at, as Houlihan will have a shot at goal from just on the 50. He was just coat hangered there around the neck, as we see on our replay screen. Well, let's see if he can give the Bombers a little bit of a spark here. Jordan Houlihan steps to the 50. Right foot, is it holding its line? No. Fades to the left. 1-3-9 plays 5-2-32. Casey leading Essendon. We've got 9 minutes in this second quarter. We'll go around the grounds in a moment.
Petty. Nice short little kick-in's okay. And the mark is taken by Loudon. He'll go to Hutchins back in the square. So careful build up here for Casey. 32 plays 9. You're on hard jackets, Hadley Workwear, VFL Live. Another touch for the Casey 23rd man today in Loudon. Something downfield has happened. There's a boundary umpire coming a long way across to have a conversation with the field umpire. What's this about, Hilly?
He may have stepped over the line after being called to play on.
Yep, that's what it is.
Boundary throw-in.
By the way, around the grounds, Port Melbourne 7-3-45 leading Werribee 1 behind. 5 minutes into the second quarter there.
Wow. Having a good year. Again, the Borough. They're an outstanding footy club, as we know. Bruce grabbed it from the ruck and cleared D50. Now Union's trying to come crashing through. Long's kick smothered off the boot. Gent trying to potentially just find a bit of space, but tackled straight away. Ball up right on 50.
In the AFL, 10-point lead to the Lions. 43 plays 33 over the Bulldogs in Ballarat. 21 gone in the second quarter, and a 2-point lead to the Pies over the Blues.
No doubt you'll be keeping an eye on events in Ballarat. You and Healy today. Ground level ball here. Sparrow. He's legged apparently. Free kick. In fact, it might be Chandler for Casey. Now the umpire comes in to have a conversation with the Essendon man on the mark, and that appears to be Fennell. So Chandler. High kick in toward Braden Bruce territory, although in the right spot to take the mark was White. Got a nice goal assist from this sort of range as he goes inside 50. He found Smith last time. The kick to the square. Lafoul. First time we've seen him today. Trying to keep it in play now there was Briggs. Hot pressure there by the Bombers. Well done. Long has worked hard to get that deep and apply the pressure. Boundary throw in.
Might have been out in the full on that occasion. You guys might have had a better look at that. Looked to ricochet off a shin.
Yeah, I didn't quite pick it up.
So right forward pocket here. It's Casey. Looks to add another goal. They've been good so far. Fennell under pressure. Tap back toward the line. Does Berry keep it in? No, he was happy. More than happy to be pushed out of play. Another boundary throw in. 5-2-32 Casey. Essendon 1-3-9. 2 goals to Tim Smith, the only multiple goal kicker on the ground. We are 11 and a half minutes into the second term. Reid went to ground before the ball arrived, and free kick advantage paid for Essendon, and they're quick to escape, although Union dropped the mark. Now Jen applies the pressure. Tapped on did Union. Foot race for the ball. Jen eventually got to the front position. Good tackle by Union. And then the humanity converges over the top of the pill, and that will draw a ball up call from the umpire.
So 12 minutes gone in this second quarter. 32 plays 9. Casey with the advantage, Port Melbourne with the advantage over Werribee down at Adcon Stadium as ball spills free from the ruck contest, going nowhere in a hurry. McNeese just allows his teammate to come through, pick up the footy. It's almost a bit like a cake of soap. We have had a light sprinkling of rain a little while ago, and it means that it's going to be really scrappy sort of footy stuff, and Hutchins lays the tackle and the umpire will throw the ball up.
It's gone very quiet here. The crowd not up and about. They probably need to get behind their team at the moment. Give them a little boost.
Probably need a coffee to warm up, I would have thought. It is quite cool out here today at Windy Hill. Winter has arrived as Bruce on the deck managed to slip the handball out, but it's taken away by Reed, his opposite numbers in the ruck, as they try and work their way through. No one going anywhere in a hurry, and again we'll have the ball thrown up.
I wouldn't exactly describe this as the Battle of Winterfell, but it certainly has arrived, Peter. You are right. It's quite chilly.
As Begley grabbed it from the ruck contest, just throws it on the boot into the path of Houlihan, takes the mark. 55 from goal, near the boundary line. His kick is going to be a short one, going to be cut off. It was a terrible kick. And Lewis comes in for Casey. Still inside defensive 50. Now we'll look to go for a run and send it straight back from whence it came and turn over the footy again. Houlihan picked it up. He just bombed it straight back inside, and Gown takes the mark. Oh, it's untidy stuff. A little bit of kick-to-kick sort of stuff going on there. Turnover for turnover, and Gown's the player who comes up with it. Copped another knock as he went down there.
The Bombers are down a rotation at the moment. Eden Sibbald came off before with just a little limp. Didn't think it was too significant, but unfortunately he's currently being strapped with some ice on his right knee, or just below the right knee. So I'll give you an update on that shortly.
So Noah Gown comes in, 40 out. It's a flat-looking kick, but it's got the trip. There are the Bombers fans. He's first on the board, and for the Bombers, a badly needed one. Their second. They go to 2-3-15, playing 5-2-32, 14 and a half gone in the second quarter here on VFL Live.
9 disposals each for Kyle Langford, Ben McNeese now for the Bombers, and Bruce is actually leading the way for the Casey Demons with 8.
Score update.
It's a big man.
Score update from Port Melbourne, 8-3-51, the Borough 1-1-7, Werribee 11 gone into the second there.
So big task falls onto Liam Reid here for the Bombers. He'll be in charge of the ruck division for the rest of the day.
He's got Buxton to deal with in this particular contest. Umpire puts it down. Good bounce. Haven't seen a bad one yet, which is good. Trying to find a way through his hairball. Needed to retreat and try and get a handball off to Langford, but he was immediately pressured. And a ball up.
Irving Mosquito looking to get his way back out onto the ground.
17-point ball game here at Windy Hill. Buxton, Langford tries to get the hand pass out wide to set up a unit. Beaten to the ball though by McCaffrey. Now Hocking spills out Unan. Long, further back for McNeese. Touch number 10 for him. D, look out. Pressure was coming. Did well to eventually have the poise and get it to Tynan. And now Hocking has it. Goes down after the mark, is at 50. Umpire is saying, yes it is. So Heath Hocking's going to have a shot on goal.
They're on to Baker as well. He was the player.
And 50.
Double 50?
No, just the one. And they've got to get a move on too. Some of these players, the umpires come all the way down.
It was a bang-bang sort of play, Healy, because Hocking took the mark and almost instantaneously copped that knock. The umpire was a touch and go sort of 50, I reckon.
Yeah. But in saying that, there was a lot of aftermath that eventuated. So happy to say he probably got it right on that occasion.
Back-to-back goals for the Bombers. Hocking gets his 6th of the season. By the way, the infringer for Casey was Oscar Baker, and he has now come off the ground. So the Bombers get back-to-back goals for the first time today. 3-3-21, still behind Casey. 5-2-32, 16 and a half into the second term. Jack, a totally workwear VFL Live.
Well, that goal could be a momentum changer.
Certainly can be. And
all the hard work that the Demons have put in here, a little bit of ill discipline from Baker, and all of a sudden they've closed the gap here, the Bombers. Back in the middle we go. And it's Michael Hartley who's gone into the ruck for the Bombers. No one can get clean possession. Trying to bullock his way through is Heppel, forcing it forward for the Bombers. Now it's held up at centre half forward. Big pack of players. And the umpire will throw the ball up.
The experienced Bombers around the ball, the Hockings, they're just starting to have an impact here and get their team back into it.
Ball off hands. Houlihan went without it. Oh, Hartley, that's a strong tackle. And again, the umpire will throw it up. Boy, oh boy, that was a hell of a tackle from Hartley. And unfortunately, McCaffrey coming the other way, didn't see it coming. No one could take it from the ruck contest. It's a clearing kick for the D's as Sparrow just puts it up towards centre wing. Pack of players around this. No one getting anywhere. It's locked in. The umpire will throw it up again.
White down just behind plate.
Laguda gets to his feet for the Bombers. 18 minutes gone in this second quarter. 32 plays 21. Fans just hurling it onto the boot is Lant. He goes inside 50. No one can take the mark. It's under pressure. Paddling forward, Lazaro just to create a nuisance for himself.
White coming off, boys. He's
Lewis
really crook at the moment.
Okay, as the ball goes over the line. He's right in front of you, Hilly.
Hilly, if I saw what I thought I saw, I'm a bit worried.
Yeah, I am too. The physio and the doctor just about to...
Was that Claret?
To assess him, but it did look like Claret to me.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
Meanwhile, the Demons have it on the last line of defence. As they look to clear the 50 again. Hutchins looks one way, looks the other. Decides to hug the outer side and go with a longish ball. Oh, fell into the arms of Tynan. I think he was a little bit surprised to drop that short. Anyway, couldn't take the mark, and now we've got a pack of players around the footy. No one can extract it, and the umpire will come in and throw it up. So 32 plays 21. We've played 19 minutes in this second quarter. We'll go around the ground shortly.
Out of wing here at Windsor Hill. Umpire throws it up. Hartley in the ruck at the moment for the Bombers. This is Wagner, left foot, to try and at least get it away from the danger zone. Doesn't work out. Ridley takes the mark for Essendon. He'll go inboard. Hartley will send the Bombers inside 50 and tried to pick out Lazaro. No mark taken out. Here's Mosquito. We know what he can do. Left foot, sprayed it. Missed. 3-4-22 Essendon. Casey 5-2-32. Bombers lifting, almost time on second term.
Freeman doing the kicking out. It was dangerous, but it come off.
Lazaro hasn't gotten up, by the way.
McAfee has taken the mark, and his kick going long. Lafau at the back. Flies from both teams. And Zerk Thatcher almost had his head taken off. No call from the umpire. It's buried there. He waits a long time. The umpire on centre wing will throw the ball up. Hero dear, a bit of feeling in this one now. 20 minutes gone. Hartley goes to work with Buxton. And second effort there from Langford. Went straight up in the air. Jordan picked it up, and now the Demons as they work again towards the outer side. Di Pasquale has it. He just squares it up inboard. Chandler takes the mark.
Nino Lazaro just coming off as well. Looks like he may have sustained an injury.
Barrow goes with a long kick inside 50. A couple of Bombers waiting, though, and Zerk Thatcher takes the mark. Inside defensive 50 for Essendon. Held up, told to get a move on by the umpire. His kick across the ground. Well, sitting there underneath it was Di Pasquale. He was the ball fisted away from him and over the boundary line. We'll have it thrown in.
So is that two Bombers off injured at the moment, Hilly?
Yes, Nino Lazaro copped a knock to the head. Also, just having his wrist looked at as well. So he's in the wars, and the Bombers are down to 3 rotations at the moment.
So who's the other man off at the moment? Injured?
Eden Sebald is off, and
haven't seen him for a while.
He won't be taking any more part in this game.
As the Bombers are looking to go forward, that was too high. No call from the umpire. Plenty of numbers here for Casey at half back. It just got a little too high, but the umpire ignored it because they pretty much had the advantage anyway, the Demons. And Gent kicks a long ball up towards the boundary line. And, well, the pack split open, and there waiting was Zerk Thatcher. Takes the mark on centre wing. Kicks a long ball inside the 50. Begley flies, couldn't take the mark. Ball off hands. Now an opportunity again Clearing kick for Lewis. It was a touch ball. The umpire calling play on. Fell into the arms of Fennell. Managed to get the handball out of the way. They're back on centre wing. Zirk Thatcher works with Heppel. Heppel's little underground. There's a terrible kick. And plenty of numbers there for the D's. Chandler, his kick to a player in space. Briggs has got to run onto it. D came late, but he held on.
Professional free kick there from D.
It is, and Briggs wants to get on with it quickly. His kick is going to be turned over. Unan jumping into the space takes the mark, and the Bombers a chance to clear.
Tynan gets the 1-2, had to kick and did eventually, bouncing. Picked up out here by Di Pasquale. He was wrestled down in the end by Heppel. One back by Harley. Hand pass in board, not great. Now picked up by Chandler. He goes down. Umpire getting a good look at all of this. Decides to ball it up. Bombers down to 3 on the bench. By the way, Mitch White, another one to keep an eye on the Casey side. Hilly spitting up blood about 5 minutes ago.
He's just pacing up and down the sidelines at the moment. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back out there before the end of this quarter.
Unit standing up as he was tackled. Ball eventually was extracted, but now it's locked up once more. Another ball up.
We'll go around the grounds while we've got the opportunity, Adam.
Port Melbourne in control of things against Werribee, who have been good so far this year under Mark Williams, but
8-3-51, plays 4-1-25. A couple of goals in a row
today.
here for the Werribee side, though, heading towards half-time.
Does that mean first 9 goals of the game went Port Melbourne's way?
I think so, yeah.
Hutchins, and in front of Gown here, tried to get it out to Petty. Nice tackle in the end by Gown. Boundary throw in.
First
Just
8
inside
goals.
50.
8 goals in a row. And in the AFL, half-time in both matches, scores level at the MCG, 36 apiece, and Bulldogs leading by 2 points over the Lions. Half-time in Ballarat.
Umpire brings this one back in. That throw-in just holds up a touch. Clark, Mosquito, dispossessed as soon as he got it. Ball up right on the digits of 50. Again, Jade Rawlings, you can see, just being quite vocal on the bench. Has also been interacting with the runner a fair bit. As we see Buxton come off for the Demons, and on comes Briggs. Kick smothered here. As Munro tried to get a hand pass out. Eventually it's forced inside 50 by Ridley, but that one's going to skew out of bounds on the full, and Hutchins will reclaim it for the KC Demons. Another rotation as Bedford makes his way back out onto the ground for the Demons. Hutchins comes off his line, though. Immediate pressure on the mark from Langford, so he goes down the line. Hartley with the fist. Di Pasquale, the release handball out wide's okay eventually for Gent. Hot on him, though, is Berry. Hand pass out. Oscar is in trouble here. Oscar Baker stays in play. Smith. Now scurried ball towards the wing. D collected. Hocking all the way back to McNeese. Has a little bit of space, but needs to be quick with the disposal, and he's gone down the line. Does well. Ridley, left foot ball high towards half forward. 2-on-1 in favour of the Demons, and a nice mark going back with the flight. Trying to spot there who took the mark there. I think it was Freeman. As he goes with the opposite side of the boot, kick down the line, out of bounds on the full. Bombers get it back. Tynan to claim it.
Yeah, Josh Tynan plays on centre wing. His kick again inside the 50, but it's quite sparse, and we'll go back from whence it came because Freeman comes in to take the relieving mark for the Demons. Is it going to be 50? Langford just sort of pushing him off his line. And the kick goes short, finds Hutchins. Still inside defensive 50 for the Demons. He goes across the ground to Loudon, who will go with another short ball. And they're just working their way out here. Stockdale, not sure which way to go. The Bombers' defence really holding sway as we go from one side of the ground to the other. There's Jordan, his kick, up the line. There's the handball from Petty. Sees his teammate. Now on the longer ball. Did it stay inside? It's a mark.
Certainly did.
Yep, Mitch Gents, the half forwards. Wants to go with a long kick. Inside 50. They fly. Smith takes the mark. He had the sits. He read the ball nicely, and he will go back and have a shot. And Smith going for his 3rd goal in this quarter.
tough kick from here, just with the wind just picking up. Will drag away from him here. But he's in form and has a great boot on him. So let's see whether he can guide this one through.
And he comes. Just a steadier. Oh, no. Oh, bad miss. He's not even going to make the trip. That went almost at right angles. Anyway, Bombers at the fall of the ball. McNeice going around the body. He's put it straight out of bounds on the full. And Mitch Gent racing over. He's looking like he's going to have a shot at goal as that one has disappeared.
Just having another look at that Bombers bench, Nino Lazaro. Looks like he's got a bit of ice to his head at the moment. So the Bombers could be down to 3 rotations at the moment after the break if he's ruled out for the rest of the game.
So the ball in the hands of Chandler, who's going to go backwards. I think that was always going to be on. And means Gent from a long way from outside the 50. Bruce takes the mark. Top of the goal square. He'll line up and have a shot directly in front.
It was a great leap and great mark. And really smart kick, actually, from the Casey Demons to the top of the goal square. Rather than just try and blaze away and get within 2 or 3 metres and it gets rushed through. Smart kick to prop it right up 10, 15 metres out from goal.
Margin is 10 before this kick. Heading towards half-time. 28.5 gone. Bruce directly in front. Makes no mistake. His second goal. And the margin indeed is 16 points here at Windy Hill. The away team with the advantage. As we tick down towards half-time. And as we go around the grounds, we've given you the AFL half-time scores. Closing in on half-time at Adcon Stadium. 9-3-57 the Borough. Leading Werribee 4-1-25. Another goal to Johnston at the 22-minute mark. So they've got a handy advantage down there at Port Melbourne, the home team down there. Meanwhile here, it's the away team, 6-2-38, leading the Bombers 3-4-22. As the ball's back in the middle.
This quarter's already gone almost 2 minutes longer than the first. Bruce has 2 goals, plenty of tap-outs, and it's probably the best on grounds at the moment. It's Casey. They're on the offensive once more. Ball's on the outer side. Baker comes in board. Nice little pass there for Loudon. Right foot high inside 50. Fouls in the area. Falls out the back. Wagner up against Hartley. Hot ball to win. Long with the tackle. Something's about to land at Essendon Airport above us. Boundary throw in.
Helicopter.
Thank you, Peter.
In case you wanted to know.
Here's what it sounded like. Nothing comes of that ball up, or is there a push?
No, ball up.
Ball up. Inside 50 here for the Casey Demons. Reed in the ruck once more. Ground level. Union forced into the deck. And we've got a free kick going Essendon's way here. An incorrectly executed tackle. That might be Unit. It's actually Langford. Right foot toward the outside. Gown. Ground level. Bruce, another touch for him. Up to was looking for Smith, but Langford got in the way. And then the
38 plays at 22. Second half here on VFL Live.
A low-scoring affair, and Casey leads it by 16. As we see this ball not coming out, secondary ball up.
3 out of their 4 games this season, Casey, have not scored a goal in the third quarter.
This is where this game might be won or lost. Can the Bombers find a way back? Did kick back-to-back goals in that second term. Berry under pressure, lost it and turned it over. Now Wagner has it for the Demons over the top. Buxton with the little touch. Tried to set up Gent, but Mosquito got in the way there for the Bombers. Quite a for Irving Mosquito. Another touch here. It's a handball. Now Hocking, standing start. Had a good day, Hocking. That's disposal number 13. The kick toward half forward. Doesn't hit a target. Ground level. And the umpire will call for a ball up now.
They had a function today at lunch to celebrate the start of the women's season. The Bombers at Windy Hill. Good crowd still around that function.
That was a close game earlier today. Also called on VFL.com.au as Mosquito. Can he escape the tackle from Baker? It won't matter because it was high. And Mosquito goes inboard to McNeese, just behind the circles here at Windy Hill. 2 circles on the ground. The centre wicket's a little bit problematic here. Here is Long inside 50. Being held onto there was Begley. It didn't matter because Ridley came in and took the mark anyway. 4 goals for the season. Didn't get any last week against the Cats. Hasn't got one today. There's Jordan Ridley. In fact, I'll apologise. I just read out Josh Begley's stats and not Ridley's because this is his first game.
I was just about to say, I think it's his first game for the season for the VFL.
They're right next to each other on the team list, and I read out the wrong stats. Apologies. So this will be his first goal of the year if he kicks it. Ridley. To reduce the margin down to 10 points early in the second half. Right foot's on the whales off the side of the boot. Slowly going right to left, but not enough, and it hit the post. So that's now 3-5-23 to 6-2-38. 2 gone third term.
Jordan to bring the ball back into play for the Demons on the last line. Looking one way, looking the other, decides to go to our broadcast side and goes with a long ball. He's looking for the tall timber and Bruce, got hands to it. Couldn't bring the mark down. Noonan overran the footy. Demons still with an opportunity to try and clear here. Good tackling pressure though. Ridley laying the tackle on Loudon. And the umpire will throw the ball up. A little bit of flying the flag sort of stuff going on there. There's over the top Reed. Greensborough boy. A lot of the ruck duties, particularly now with Eden Sibbald off the ground, and not coming back in this second half. 38 plays 23. Ball to be tossed back in. Half forward for the Bombers. Reed caught at the back. Still managed to get the tap down though to Langford. Back to Reed, just overran the footy. Buxton trying to do the follow-up effort. Wagner was in there, but it spills free. And Noonan kicks a high ball. Looking for Mosquito. Takes the mark. At attacking 50 for the Bombers.
Didn't the crowd lift as well?
He looks up. He goes on the left. It's a ball to the top of the goal square. No mark taken by Houlihan. Bit of holding going on at the back there. Loudon trying to get the handball over the top to Gent on the goal line. It dribbles over for a rush behind. 38 plays 24. 4 minutes gone in this third quarter here on VFL Live.
The Bombers' intensity is certainly lifted since half-time. So Dan Jordan's had a fair word at half-time about how they approach the footy.
Nice mark taken by Bruce from the Freeman kick-in. Best on ground for mine, Braden Bruce so far today. Goes towards half-forward. White couldn't quite take the mark. Ground-level ball. Handball missed there by D, and it wasn't a disposal, so a free kick. Holding the ball to be taken by White here. Spitting up blood late in the second term. He's back out on the ground is the Casey skipper. High ball inside 50. We've got a 2-on-2. Jumping for the mark there, Zerk Thatcher. Couldn't take the mark for the Bombers. Ground level ball up top of the square. Next goal vital in this one. Goals hard to come by today. Only 9 so far. Ball thrown up. Bruce tried to grab it and snap. Kick smothered off the boot though. Long, he's brought down by Munro. Never had the ball there. Well, he did, but then he lost it. Ball up. A bit further away from goal here for Casey. Reed in the ruck against Bruce, who won the tap down. Almost got it down to Munro. Now Jet tries to come crashing through. Long's involved again. It's a fascinating one, Jake Long, isn't he, Healy? We see a lot of Essendon on VFL Live, and we have seen a lot of Essendon over the years. Can't break into this AFL side. And he's had a bit of a different role today. He's almost playing more on the inside. We see him again laying a tackle here.
Yeah, he's certainly a versatile player. He's played down back, he's played forward, he's played inside mid. He's played a lot of different positions. He shows a lot of potential, and he's not far off being a regular AFL player.
He's been a mainstay in his VFL lineup for a couple of seasons now. Clark tried to get the hand pass out to D. Worried out of it by Bedford. Boundary throw in right forward pocket for Casey. All 5 bench players ready to come on, it would seem. They're all lined up in a row there.
Yeah.
Just seems with the play being down this portion of the ground that they've had a little advantage there on the bench today with the rotations.
The ball tossed back in. Deep into attack here for the Demons. Bruce and Reid. Ball tapped down, kick partially smothered and then smothered again. It was Sparrow trying to get the kick away. It's eventually released. Sparrow trying to get his hands to it. Lost a handle on the footy. Now has to go back in and lay the tackle. There's a hole in the footy. There he is against the Bombers. Begley was the player who dropped the footy. And we go all the way to Bedford, who's going to have the shot at goal, and he'll line up from 49 metres out.
Casey's tackling pressure has really lifted today, and they're obviously 1-3 going into this game, but not a 1-3 type team, and we've seen that so far today, and it's really been on the back of their tackling pressure. It's been phenomenal. So
Bedford will come in. Melbourne listed player steps to the 50 now and will kick. It's a ball that's drifting and it misses to the right. 39 plays 24. Casey leading Essendon. 7 gone in this third quarter. We'll go around the ground shortly.
I've already got my conversation photo ready if there's any junk time late in this game, Hilly, and it does involve Peter Mercado's international travels in the next couple of weeks. If the game ends up just petering out and becomes a bit of a
the boss is listening. He's right behind us.
Just saying, if it's a good game, then we'll call.
Straighten up a little bit, would you?
Di Pasquale takes the mark in the middle of Windy Hill. And he'll go toward this broadcast side. Mark taken by Lewis. From centre wing, sends the Demons inside 50. Look out for Braden Prusia. No mark was taken. And in fact, there wasn't the ND. Came out of nowhere and claimed it back for the Bombers. Then he kicks to a 2-on-1. Hutchins with the fist. Wagner gets away from the Langford tackle. Hartley and a hand pass all the way back to the last line of defence was interesting to say the least. Now some pressure for Zerk Thatcher. Off the ground, Wagner goal. In fact, it's White. It's White who kicks it for Casey. Second off the ground goal for the Demons today. And an important one, 6-3-39, plays 3-6-24. In fact, I'll change that to 7-3-45. There's still a manual scoreboard here at Windy Hill. It's a little slow to tick over, 8.5 third term.
So around the grounds, 10-4-64, Port Melbourne leading Werribee 6-1-37. 3 minutes into the third quarter there. And the Western Bulldogs a 19-point lead over the Brisbane Lions 21 minutes into the third, and scores level 62 apiece. Collingwood and Carlton 26 minutes gone into the third quarter there. So 7-3-45 plays 3-6-24. And we've gone 9 minutes in this third term. As Adam said, an important goal for the away team. Reid getting the tap down. The ball going absolutely nowhere in a hurry, and the umpire will come and throw the ball up. Hocking to toss the ball back. Buxton working with Reid. It falls to the back. Ends up in the hands of Eunan, who just needed to release the footy. Did to McNeese, across to Tynan. The handball didn't find him though, and now he's under pressure, Tynan. He's got to go back and get the footy. He's wrapped up in the tackle by Di Pasquale. Managed to get the footy away to Mosquito, and they're away the Bombers now. Here's Hocking. Got players on the other side as his kick going long. Inside the 50, Langford coming in and taking the mark. May have been a little bit of hands in the back. Nothing doing, said the umpire. On 50, goes in short. And that's okay. They're just going to put it in the hands of Heppel. And the skipper will have a shot at goal. Tight on the boundary line. And he'll be kicking from 35 metres out. And here comes Aaron Heppel. Wonder if he practices this at training. The answer is no, because he put it out of bounds on the full. Answer my own question there.
I think he should this week, Pete, because he'll be thinking about that one for a while.
Jordan to bring it back into play for Casey. Long ball towards the outer side. Zerk Thatcher dropped the mark. Running into trouble relatively quickly there. Spot who that was. Tim Smith. Ball up. Side the centre square. Reid against Buxton that time. High contact. Free kick Casey's way. Di Pasquale. Here go short and wide. That's okay for Lewis. Careful build up once more here from Casey. High ball. Now we're at half forward, and D puts up the mitts, brings it down. He's been good across half back for the Bombers. Just need to get things going forward of centre. That's been their issue today, and this is why. A lot of turnover. Mark taken by Tom Freeman. Goes inboard for Hutchins. Can keep the switch going to Petty if he wants. No, goes shorter to Di Pasquale. Petty still loose here on the broadcast side. Now it's coming his way. Over the top for Loudon. 23rd man for Casey.
Oh dear.
Next man in the chain there was Jansen. Getting in the way was Laguda for Essendon. Now picked up here by Sparrow. High ball to the middle of Windy Hill. Tynan with the fist. Mosquito picks up a centre half back. One way and the other. Needs to get boots of ball. Out wide for his skipper. Heppel took it on the half volley. Did well, Heppel. Now he's got to get around a potential tackler. Little kick toward the wings, okay. Finds Clark.
Yeah, he does. On centre wing, out of side. His kick up the line.
Another injury concern for the Bombers, Hilly.
What is it?
Yeah, Michael Hartley just didn't look to be moving too well as he came off there. So I'll just keep an eye on it. He has got his left hamstring and quad strapped. So.
Meanwhile, Freeman took the mark and got the kick away, but only as far as Tynan of the Bombers, who just tacks the ball up towards centre wing on that outer side. Wagner has one go at it, gets tackled, released the footy, tried to get it back again across to Baker, but it went through his hands and over the line, and we'll have it thrown in. 45 plays 24. Looks like Michael Hartley's getting onto the exercise bike just next to the Bombers bench.
It's becoming a dirty day for Essendon.
Ball tossed back in. It's notionally into attack for the Demons. Reed and then down looking for Begley. Managed to release the footy in the nick of time. Lant went without it. Now another stalemate. The umpire will throw it up. True centre wing position on that outer side. Almost 13 minutes gone in this third term. 45 plays 24. We'll go around the ground short.
Buxton won the tap down. High contact and a free kick should go the Demons' way, and it does to be taken by Sparrow. Looks ahead. Only one lead on offer. That's from White. Goes longer than that. We're inside 50. Smith goes up. Can't bring it down. Teammate got in the way there in Chandler. Ground level ball. Tynan brought down. Pushed in the back, it would seem. A free kick to go Tynan's way.
Around the grounds. 11-4-70 Port Melbourne. Werribee 6-1-37. 8 gone in the third quarter.
Gets around the man on the mark. There's Tynan. Then the kick toward the wing. Again, Bruce involved in the contest, but Heppel was at the fall. Rush kick towards half forward. Berry's not going to get to it. Neither's Ridley. Boundary throw in. Deliberate out of bounds, according to the umpire. Right in front of the scoreboard, which has Casey up by 21.
That's an amazing decision.
Boundary umpires only just realised that the umpire paid a free kick. It's going to be taken by Di Pasquale. As Langford waits to come back out onto the ground for the Bombers.
None of the Casey players realised it was their free kick.
I think it was there, perhaps. Sparrow. Right half back for Casey. Doesn't see much ahead. Goes long anyway. More in hope than anything else. He did go to Braden Pruce, and why not? He's been taking a lot of marks today. Unan, Zerk Thatcher. Did well to get the hand pass out. D got another touch as well. Tynan kick toward the broadcast side. Pumping the legs, here's Houlihan. Gets it on the bounce. Chip over the top for Clark. Does he get to it? No. Skidded nicely for him though. Has to get around the Loudon tackle. Did well. Houlihan takes the ball and put it under the arms and took a bounce, but nice tackling pressure there from McCaffrey. Now it's a hot ball to win. Hocking trying to extract it was Lazaro. That's not Lazaro, that's Gown. Boundary throw in. Lazaro is one of those men off the ground at the moment. Wilson Berry coming off for a rest, but the bench is telling him to stay out there. They're down on numbers at the moment, Essendon, as we see a boundary throw in right in front of the gates.
Next goal crucial. Ball tossed back in. Bruce with the front position getting the tap down for Casey. There's his opposite ruckman in Reed. Got the handball away to Berry, and the kick going off hands. No, it's out of bounds on the full. Didn't touch anyone in the end. It was just a kick under pressure. And Petty to take the free kick. Half back near the boundary line. The boundary line and the 50 metres intersect. On the broadcast side, his kick going up the line. Hartley there with the fist, but it fell backwards. Wagner now delay the tackle on D. D got the handball away, crossed to Begley, works it with Long, brought down from behind. Great tackling pressure. Excellent work from Briggs. And he'll take the free kick. Right in the middle of Windy Hill. His kick. Boy, they've got players lining up here. Mark taken by Munro. And Munro's kick inside the 50. 2-on-2 contest. Bombers at the fall of the footy. Nice little tap up. Hartley couldn't pick it up. Got an attack of the fumbles as Bedford was bearing down. And the umpire will throw it in 48 metres around from the Casey goal. 45 plays 24. It's across the midpoint of this third quarter. Boundary umpire tossing the ball back in. Good throw in. Bruce picked it up, tried to get it down to Wagner. It came off his hands. Zunan just clears the area into the middle of the grounds. Tackling pressure. Stockdale brought down. Mosquito picked it up. And the Bombers looking there, going again. Tackling pressure. Oh, Munro this time laying the tackle on Begley and holding the footy as a result. What can Casey do here? It ends up back with Munro after he wanted to give the handball away. He's 360'd in the tackle. Managed to release it, but Ridley onto the footy. Working there, Freeman just trying to create the contest. Handball over the top. Casey with possession. Little shorty ball, Jordan. Got it across to Loudon. Loudon's little dribbler kick just dribbles into the middle of Windy Hill, but they've still got the numbers. Freeman, he's kicked further afield. Into the path here of Gent. Gent's got to do some work here on Tynan. He's twisting and turning. He's being corralled, and now he gets the kick over the top. And they're just going to settle down here, the Demons. As Briggs will kick 52 outs towards the top of the goal square. They fly. Smith at the back couldn't take the mark. D picked it up for the Bombers. And he goes with a high kick outside the 50. This may only be temporary, though. No, Gent not paid the mark. He didn't have enough of it, and now is on the deck. Set upon, and the umpire will throw the ball up. Good contest this one. 45 plays 24. 18 gone in the third quarter.
You're right, Peter. It's low scoring, but it's entertaining. It's good footy. Sometimes we can get caught up in high scoring as being entertaining, but if the ball's zipping around, it's just as good to watch. You don't necessarily need the scoreboard to be ticking over. I know that's contrary to some views, but that's just how I feel, Hilly.
And the next goal in this particular game is really important. If Casey were to get out to nearly a 5-goal lead, it's going to be hard to cut down. But if the Bombers could get the next goal, it would give them a huge amount of momentum in this game. With a little wind advantage going into the last quarter, scoring end has been left of screen all day.
Kyle Langford had to wait for a patron of the Bowls Club to give him the ball back, and finally play resumes, and his kick goes straight down the throat of Braden Bruce. Having an outstanding day today is the big man for Casey. Right football inside 50, and Smith takes a nice mark. He can go back and kick his third, only Casey's second in this third term. And in fact, it would be the only second goal of this third term, full stop, because the Bombers have been goalless, only 2 behind so far.
Really well positioned there, Smith, on that occasion. Just sat in behind his man. The ball just carried with the wind. And when in a one-on-one, he was looking like he'd be unbeaten in that contest. And
just had his hands resting there on the back.
I took a look at the replay just then as well, and slight nudge.
Slight nudge.
Smith for number 3 becomes the leading goal kicker on the ground, and Casey out to a game-high 27-point lead. It's 8-3, 51 to 3-6, 24, almost time on in this third term. And they might be on their way to handing Essendon its first loss of the season. Around
the grounds, 12-4, 76, Port Melbourne leading Werribee 7-2, 44. 14 minutes gone in the third quarter. Three-quarter time up at Ballarat. Western Bulldogs by 21 points, 11-12, 78 to the Lions, 8-9, 57. And three-quarter time at the MCG, Carlton by 5, 10-8, 68 to Collingwood, 9-9, 63. We'll have those full-time scores for you around all our venues before we finish tonight. 20 minutes gone in this third quarter. It's the breathing space that the Demons wanted. Just guiding the ball down was Buxton, but he's heading forward for the Bombers. Mosquito just being harassed here. Normally it's the other way around. Wagner getting a few tackles. Well done there, Mosquito, dragging him to ground. Oh, but it's a free kick going the other way. Hung on too long.
That was a fantastic tackle. I thought he was a little stiff on that occasion, Mosquito.
Just kept going with it, didn't he?
Very, very entertaining footballer.
As Wagner to take the free kick in the middle of Windy Hill. He goes with a long 60-metre kick coming out to meet it Hartley, but it falls to ground. Smith, goal! That's his second in this quarter, his fourth for the day. It fell fortuitously into his hands and off he went. And they continue to extend their lead. 9-3-57 plays 3-6-24. We've played 21 minutes into the third quarter. He just was in the right place at the right time.
He sure was. Front and centre is a great, if you're not in the contest, front and centre is a great spot to be, and that's exactly where he was. Roved it on that occasion and kicked truly around the corner. He's looked dangerous all day, and he's really got it on the scoreboard now, up to 4 goals.
So Michael Hartley doing the ruck work at the moment for Essendon. He's going up against Buxton here. Big Braden Bruce at full forward. As the umpire puts down, the bouncing today, Peter, has been excellent. Not one has been recalled, and that's what we want to see. Langford brought down in the tackle, got his hand pass out in time. Lant got it to Berry. Right foot ball's a high one inside 50. Look for the jump here from Reed, but in the right spot. In front there was Buxton. Took a nice mark and goes with the left foot pass. It's dangerous. McNeese and Mosquito are both there. Needs to be careful here. Munro did well to pick it up and get it to Jet. He's tackled though. Mosquito's still in the area. It's heading boundary side. Out of play. Boundary thrown in front of the fitness centre here at Windy Hill. Left full pocket. Bombers are inside 50 and desperately need a goal. Reynolds stands somewhat well populated today. It's a cool day here in Melbourne. Boundary throw in. Hartley going up against Buxton. Jumper was being pulled there. No free kick. It was given to Lewis. Ball up. Zarin Hempel waits to come back out, and all 5 Casey bench players also desperate to get back out there. You can probably hear in our effects mic the instructions being barked out by Jade Rawlings. Berry engaged in battle here with McCaffrey. Hocking with the tackle. Calls for ball. We'll get a ball up. Near the scoreboard, 3-6-24 Essendon. Casey, 9-3-57. 23 and a half gone third term. Casey just 1-3 on their season so far. Their only win was against North Melbourne by 44 points in round 2. Bombers at the moment are 4-0, in danger of losing their unblemished record. Free kick out of the contest to go the way of the Demons, taken by Oscar Baker. Quick to get his kick away off the side of the boot. Out of bounds on the full. Bombers will get it back. Tyner to take the kick.
Give it to Hartley on that outer side, right near the Bowls Club. Croquet was on before. We did toy with the idea of maybe doing some commentary of that at half-time. That was shot down rather quickly because no one understood the rules. On the lead here, the short lead is Clark. He takes the mark. Not sure how that would have gone down, Adam, but we've got all the sort of...
I'm trying to work out what the rules are, actually.
They're old person sort of sports everywhere here. Those bowls played by young and old. As Clark's kick inside the 50. Hutchins, the only one who flew in the end for Casey. He takes the mark, defensive mark, inside defensive 50. He's just calling for his players, saying, I'm going long, and that's what he does. He goes with a high ball. He does go long, falls to the back of the pack. Long is there, goes with a handball to Laguda. Laguda goes, squares in the middle of the ground, finds Lant, the 23rd player for the Bombers. He's just pushed off his kick at the crucial moment. Casey plays in trouble. It's Chandler. Meanwhile, the footy is still in Demon hands as McAfee takes the mark at half back. His kick going to go from half back to half forward. It's a long ball. That's a nice mark taken by Munro. 55 from goal. Wants to get on with it. Called to play on by the umpire. Twisting, turning like he's got a player on the outside. There's a free kick here. Holding free kick. It's going to come back to the Demons, I think. Bit of a discussion between Jake Long and 50 metres. Jake Long and Munro. And the umpire's going to bring them down 50 metres. So this is a certainty, this goal. It was after the contest. I think the ball was released and then Long just decided to go on with it. And he's been pinged 50. So Munro kicked a goal in the opening quarter. He's 10 metres out and he kicks his second. No response from the Pro Bombers crowd. 10-3, 63 plays 3-6, 24. 26 minutes gone in this third quarter.
Yeah, the Bombers have let themselves down badly in the last 7 or 8 minutes. It was only about the 18 or 19 minute mark. It was around a 21-point lead to Casey. It's just blown out in the last 6 minutes. And this game's looking a little bit beyond them at the moment, the Bombers.
Margin 33 at Adcon Stadium into time on in the third quarter. 13-5-83 Port Melbourne. Werribee 8-2-50. And in the AFL, they're all into the final quarter. The Bulldogs by 27 over the Lions at Brisbane. Lions at Ballarat, I should say. 3 minutes in to the final quarter. And Collingwood by a point. 3 minutes into the final quarter at the MCG.
Wish it was in Brisbane, Pete.
Yeah.
Margin here, 39 points. Nice tackle by White. Ball up. What's the difference between bocce and croquet?
Bocce, you throw the ball. You throw the large balls. Croquet, you've got the mallet. There's a massive difference.
It's the same. It's the same objective, yeah.
They're two completely.
It's like lawn bowls and curling, just on different surfaces. Inside 50 we go for Essendon. Tackled immediately as soon as he got the ball was Lewis. Ball up.
Well, since the boss is here at VFL, if you would like to educate Adam on the million differences between bocce and croquet.
And there would be a million.
How would I know?
At VFL. Go on.
All right, Langford.
Well, we read him out at three-quarter time.
Nice don't argue there by Langford, mind you. Unan, then Laguda got involved. Turned over eventually. Well picked up by Wagner. Kick toward the wing. Nice fist on the ball there by Lafau. And the hand pass was well. Over the top, Buxton looked ahead to an MC 50. Hand pass over to Briggs. Doesn't want to shoot. Decides to centre. And a nice mark is taken by Baker. Nice passage by Casey.
Excellent.
Baker can finish. Kick the goal in the first term. So 3 late goals already in time on in this third term for the Demons. They can add a fourth here and put this one to bed before three-quarter time, you would think.
Gosh, it would have had to have been a focus of Jade Rawlings through the week. Not kicking a goal in 3 out of their 4 games so far in the third term. They have piled them on here. Just a foot on the throat of the Bombers. It's going to make it really hard for the home team to get back if he kicks this.
Really good kick, Oscar Baker. I'd slot him in here.
Bombers only have 2 behinds for the quarter. Kicks the goal. Casey's on its way to win number 2, you would think, but there's still a quarter to play. Maybe a little bit more than that as well. 11-3, 69 now playing 3-6, 24. 29 minutes in, third term.
Yeah, just that pressure all over the ground today. The Demons been sensational. And look at the names that are in this lineup, the experience of the Casey listed players as opposed to the Melbourne listed players. And we've been talking about them all the way through today. We've got guys like Jack Hutchins, who's been leading down back, Mitch Gent, who's been in this system for many a year. Lafau as well is another one, matching it with the Melbourne listed players.
8 of Casey's 11 goals have come from AFL listed players today.
Ball back in the middle. Yes, 4 of those to 1 player. Now, no one can get clear from the ruck contest. It's still in the circles, and the umpire will throw the ball up. As the Demons coaching panel makes its way down to ground level because there's 29.5 minutes gone in this third quarter. Whistle, off the ball, bit of push and shove. It's going to be an Essendon free kick. No, it's going to be a free kick going the way of the Demons. Bruce. Oh,
wow.
Goes to the top. Big barrel.
70 metres.
Oh, and it's found a player as well. Smith. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it at the end. Working there was Unan. He's wrapped up in the tackle. He was shaping for it, and that travelled. Goodness me. Had the accuracy, just clean out the goal square.
We've got a really nice view of the city skyline, and the ball went above that.
It did. Oh, that was an amazing kick. Anyway, it's inside 50 here for the Demons, and we'll have another stoppage. And more whistles. Whistles going on everywhere. It's the trailing umpire who's calling these free kicks. This time it's going the Bombers' way. Hocking takes the mark from the 3 kick. He's at defensive 50. He goes further afield. Zerk Thatcher back to Hocking. Works it to Clark, who's wrapped up in the tackle. Tried to release the footy. Taken away by Freeman. Now they've got some run. Here's Wagner. 40 out. Low ball missing. And that should be three-quarter time. We'll be very close to it. There's 31 minutes about to tick over, and Michael Hartley will put to himself. Oh, I can pick it, can't I? 11, bit of a run. It's all Casey at the moment as we head into the final term here on VFL Live.
46 points, Healy. Is it doable?
No, not today.
Final term underway here. Hardjacker Totally Workwear, VFL Live. It's our third successive look at Essendon. There was a TV game mixed in there as well. They've had a lot of coverage, the Bombers, early in the season. We're inside 50. White eventually paid the mark against Zirk Thatcher. And a chance to put it beyond 50 and put it beyond doubt in the very early stages of this final term. It's had a pretty good day today, White.
He has, considering he came off at one stage coughing up blood. He's been really prominent up forward and around the ball. So good leader of this club.
This will be his ninth disposal coming up for the day. Has led by example, looking kick his second goal as well, to perhaps get Casey on its way to its second win of the season. The left foot ball is good. He kicks the goal. The margin's beyond 50, and Casey is going to beat Essendon today, you would think now. 12-4-76 to 3-6-24. Only a minute gone, final term.
So what were we going to talk about in terms of the French?
Not really all that important at this
London trip, because I think we can start talking about it 1 minute into the last quarter, because this contest is over.
There's a 3-week gap between the two slams, Hilly, so I just want to know what Peter's doing with his time.
Well, before we do that,
instead of coming back here and helping us out on VFL Live.
Let's just recap. Well, I'm on long service leave. I've done it for 10 years. I reckon I've clocked it up. Now, let's just reconfirm the injuries at three-quarter time here for the Bombers, Hilly. Eden Sibold and Nino Lazaro, the two. We'll come back to that in a sec, because the ball's back in the middle of the ground. A chance for the Bombers. Clark off to Mosquito, who drags the ball around up towards half forwards, and another good mark. Boy, Casey been solid down back today. Freeman has been excellent. His kick across the ground is a good one. Just going to load up again. This Gent has been equally as good. Finds Bruce, centre wing on the outer side. His kick goes up towards half forward. 2-1 in favour of the Bombers, but boy, Smith did well to create that contest. Tynan ridden into the turf. Smith doing the follow-up work, and the umpire will throw the ball up. Those injuries, Glenn Hill.
Yes, well, Eden Sibold is definitely done for the day, and he'll have to have some scans on his knee, unfortunately. They're not too sure as to what the actual injury is. It's not an ACL or PCL at the moment. It's some sort of injury to the front of the knee, and he'll have to get some scans and get assessed from there. Nino Lazaro, a heavy knock to the head, and he looks like he may also be done for the day. So the Bombers are down to only 3 on the bench.
Meanwhile, Mitch Gent kicks inboard, inside 50 to Cade Chandler, and he will light up and have a shot at goal, 40 metres outside angle.
It's well built, Chandler, but not a very tall man, Healy.
Tips the scales at 75 kegs.
Only 173 centimetres.
Doesn't look a whole lot of that 75 kegs either. At ground level, he's quite slight.
As he comes in here, Chandler, the kick is a good one. It's a very good one. Kicks his first of the day, and they are well and truly in control now. 13-4-82, plays 3-6-24, 3.5 gone in this final term as we go around the grounds, and 18 minutes, almost 19 minutes into the final quarter in Ballarat. The Western Bulldogs leading by 16 points over the Brisbane Lions.
Come on,
Carlton by 10 over Collingwood. 86 plays 76, 19 minutes gone in the final term there. And just repeating that three-quarter time score at Adcon Stadium, 13-5-83, Port Melbourne, Werribee, 9-3-57.
8 goals in a row for Casey. Now they're starting to boost some percentage, which actually isn't too bad at 91.25 coming into the day, given they're 1-3, and that's largely thanks to what was a pretty good win against North Melbourne in
and
round
some narrow
2.
losses as well.
Yep.
Early big blowout was Box Hill round 1.
18 points combined, their two most recent losses, as a smothered ball goes in towards 50. Hard one to win here. White eventually extracted and found Smith. He can go back for number 5. It's Casey's day today here at Windy Hill.
Well, it is. And then the other element to it, of course, is that...
it might not be Smith, actually. It's Baker.
Oscar Baker with ball in hand.
So we obviously got the walking wounded for the Bombers today. But, boy, the pressure from Casey all around the ground has been first class. Absolutely has.
Oscar Baker has 2 goals. He can kick his 3rd here. Right foot ball. Touched. Got a man on the mark.
He did look to get a little close to the man on the mark, but...
there you go. You don't see that too often. Here's a miscued barrel from Hartley to bring it back into play, but it's worked out okay. Hand pass there was a good one from Begley. Now it's Clark looking to go towards half forward and try and pick out Ridley. Couldn't quite do so. Hutchins needs to get away from Houlihan and does. They're out again here, the Demons. Munro's high kick towards half forward. Lafau, very quiet day for McKelty Lafau, but he takes the mark here, right half forward. Looks ahead to see no real major leads on offer. So he chips one towards the pocket. The only man that's gone up in the end is D.
He
takes it for the Bombers.
He does defensively. Goes short. That's okay. They're just going to take their time. Clark looks up. Doesn't see a hell of a lot. He's still stuck inside defensive 50 is Clark. His kick going wide for Tynan. He was under pressure. Coming over the top there was Munro. Might have been a little fortunate there, Tynan. As his kick going backwards, not hitting the target. Dangerous D in trouble. Baker coming through. Ball spills free. Tynan dragged down in the tackle. Smith picks it up, trying to bring it back round and sneaks it in for a behind. 13 goals, 6-84, plays 3-6-24. So we've gone almost 7 minutes into this final term, and Hartley to kick out, and his kick out is short and finds Zerk Thatcher. Still inside defensive 50 is Zerk Thatcher's kick. Going a bit longer up towards the wing, on centre wing. The Bowls Club on that outer side. In among the chain of handballs. It ends up with him again. Unum bearing down on him, but he gets the kick away to Loudon. He's been pretty good today, the 23rd player for Casey. As his kick goes backwards. I'm just going to muck around with it a little bit here, the Demons.
11 touches
Jordan
for Loudon.
Gets it across the ground to Petty, whose kick finds Bruce. Now on the broadcast sides. Don't gain anything going forward. Whistle. Is this going to be 50 metres? Bit of a wrestle between Clark and Stockdale. Just resetting of the mark.
Yeah, just a block on the mark there, Pete, and resetting the mark.
Stockdale sheepishly ran off to the interchange bench as Bruce goes long. High ball. One for the Flyers, one for the Tall Timber, and Braden Zerk Thatcher takes it. As his kick. Looking for the 23rd player in land. Did well to take the mark. He was under pressure in the middle of the ground for the Bombers. His kick finds his skipper Heppel. Gained about 20 metres and gone laterally. Another short ball out here into the path of Langford. Oh, did well. Good spin move. He breaks another one. And now he goes from 48. Has a shot. And he's put it through. Oh, that's a great goal. Kyle Langford. One of the plays of the day. Got around 2 tacklers. Close to 48 and he kicked the goal. Magnificent.
It's their first goal of the second half, Pete.
13-6-84, plays 4-6-38. Gone in the final quarter.
I can say much needed, but we're
that horse is well and truly bolted.
We're well and truly bolted from there. But
just percentage now.
A real highlight for the Bombers when they go back and look at the tape. One of the best goals I would have seen this season.
He spun out of one tackle, got around another player, and then closed in nearer the boundary line, and he threw it on the boot, and it's a goal. By the way, back to 20 points at Port Melbourne. 13-5-83 the Borough. Werribee 10-3-63. I'll get you some AFL scores in a moment.
Say it again, Peter. Tigers looking good this year. And I'm talking about the Werribee Tigers under Choco Williams. So we go towards half forward. It's just spilled inside 50. What's happened here? Wagner's given away a free kick. Had a conversation with the umpire as well. Houlihan, the victim it would seem. He's going to receive this ball eventually. There's a trainer out to him. Maybe he can't take his kick. McNeice has it at the moment. No, he has to give it to Houlihan. Hand passes to McNeice and play resumes. Kick to the wing. Langford got rid of his man. Runs onto it. Can he do it again, Langford? Just gets away from Loudon. High ball inside 50. Jump at the ball. No mark taken. Ground level up for grabs. And now it's Hocking. Tackled as soon as he got it. Calls of high go unheard. Lant looking to get it off. Now it's Zerk Thatcher. Hand pass off to Clark. We're outside 50 once more. Clark, Zerk Thatcher all the way back to D. He's immediately pressured. Left foot ball inside 50. Did well to get it away in the end. No mark was taken. Munro was down there. Lant picks up for Essendon. Needs to switch. Interesting ball this one for Tynan or Unan. The ladder takes the mark. Unan can reel around onto the right foot just inside 50. Kicks on the way. Won't quite land. Langford couldn't take the mark. Quick hand pass off and Demons out of danger. Lewis, interesting ball. Tynan jumped. No mark taken. Ground level, wrapped up, ball up. Right on the paint of 50.
Yep, right near the boundary line too, as we tick over the 10-minute mark of this final term on VFL.com.au and SEN2 this afternoon. The ball does go over the boundary line. We will have it thrown in. Having Mosquito looking to come back out onto the grounds. 84 plays 30. It's been a comprehensive performance from the Casey Demons. It's been the start of something. We'll go through their run of games in just a moment. Ball tossed back in. The back there, Reid has... No one can get clear. Now chance as Smith tried to get the handball off. He couldn't. He made a meal of it. Hartley's kick just into the player in front of him. Gent picks it up for the Casey Demons. He's set upon. It's going to be on the footy. On attacking 50 here for the Bombers. Gent gets to his feet. Says, why me? Now the ball is in the hands of Long. Long's kick going up to the top of the goal square. They fly. Langford was there, but off hands. It's over the line. We'll have it thrown in about 10 metres around from the Essendon goal. We'll go around the grounds again in just a moment. So ticking to time on the two AFL matches. And last update we had from Port Melbourne, things were tightening up. Ball tossed back in. Deep into attack here for the Bombers. Taken out of the pack there, pushed down by Buxton. But again, another stalemate, and the umpire will come in and intervene. Closing in on full time at Ballarat. The Bulldogs lead it by 22 and Collingwood in front by a point, 25 into last there. As you see the ball come to ground, Langford went without it. Working also there, Baker. He's dragged down into the turf, and again we'll have it thrown up. We continue our run of balls being thrown up. A couple in a row here, stretch out this final term. And no one can get it cleanly from the ruck contest. The ball bobbling around. No one can get clean possession out of it. Land dragged down in the tackle. It was nice from Freeman. And another throw up. Still 20 points at Adcon Stadium, by the way. 6 into the last. 83 plays 63. Port Melbourne leading Werribee. One more go at it, I reckon, Adam, and it's all yours. As the ball here off hands. Land again went without it. Now we've got a clearing kick. Baker sends them outside 50, the Demons. Trying to get that front position was Reid. He couldn't take it. Now falls in the hands of Mosquito. He just needs to tap it on. They're under pressure. McNeice tapped it to no one in particular. Mosquito picked it up again and now needs to go. It's the third time. He did well. Gets the handball away. Unan retreating ground and trying to put it into the path here of McNeice, who leaves it for his teammate. Oh, it's going to fall to McNeice. This is untidy stuff. They're slipping and sliding all over the place. Numbers with the Demons, but they can't get clear either. As Long just tries to clear the area. Hits towards the boundary line where the 50 and the boundary line intersect. Plenty of numbers here for the Demons as they work it through. It's going to be dangerous and turned over. It was a horrible handball from Munro, and it will be turned over. Mosquito takes the mark finally on centre wing.
Imported for McNeice. Had a good first half today, McNeice. He goes to half forward. Nice mark there. Taken by Fennell. And he goes toward the pocket. Can't quite get it into the hands of Langford. Demons looking to rebound. Buxton spun away from the tacklers. Loudon held on to it. Eventually gets his kick away. Not much ahead here. Zerk Thatcher needed to take the mark for Essendon. It was okay in the end because McNeice was at his feet. Now Hocking. It falls to Baker. Casey get it back. Baker's handball was okay. Now the ball here on the wing. Briggs up against Mosquito and spins away from him. Just Briggs. Kick toward the pocket. Casey might go all the way here. White will finish. The skipper has 3. Casey has 14. 14-6, 84. Playing 4-6-30. That might be 14-6-90 in fact.
14-6-90.
Thank you. 60 points even.
30 minutes gone in Ballarat. Still a 22-point lead to the Western Bulldogs, and still Collingwood by a point. 24 minutes in. I'll give you an update of that, actually. It's Collingwood by 7 now, 30 minutes into the last quarter. So I suspect the Bulldogs and the Pies are going to get the win there. Still 20 points at Adcon Stadium.
Interesting Pies push though against Carlton today. Good to see.
So the margin an even 10 now. 10 goals, that is. As we're midway through this final term. Next week, off to Casey Fields. Casey v Port Melbourne in the Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL. As we've got a scrimmage here. The ruckmen are on the ground wrestling one another. As the ball will be tossed back up again. Doing well, Bombers player to try and ride the bumps. It's the skipper, Heppel. He goes back in there again, but Buxton too strong and gets the ball off. McAfee inside the 50, and it's going to be turned over again. D takes the mark. Looks to go sort of broadcast side-ish. Just squares it up more than anything else, Begley. They still haven't exited the 50. They do now with a kick that's terrible. It's going to come straight back in again. Bruce picked it up, did well on the ground level. Little handball out. Trying to find some path there is Berry. He did well, just dribbled a kick back outside the 50, but still no one home here for the Bombers, and they're in all sorts of trouble again as we see Sparrow's kick into the pocket, and the mark has been taken. Now this kick's going to go to the top of the goal square. It's going to be cut off by Long. So a turnover. The Bombers on the last line of defence. Long's kick. There's 3 Bombers lining up. Clark. Begley just let him run into that space to take the mark. He looks up and he sees not much on offer. So he goes to Hartley. Hartley goes with a long kick over the top. Bit of a struggle here for Gown. He's had a quietish day today. And it's going to be turned over again. As Petty goes with a short ball. Again, they can rebound. Outside defensive 50 here as they come to the broadcast side, Adam.
Jordan has it for Casey. Looking for Buxton. Reed gets the fist at the full unit. Shrugged off one tackle. Hand pass off to Lant. Into Ward 50 and a nice little ball. Does pick out Begley. Shot on goal coming up for the Bombers. Slight angle to deal with here for Josh Begley.
Margin 15 points now at Port Melbourne. 13-7-85 Port Melbourne. Werribee 11-4-70. 10 or 11 minutes gone in the final term there.
So that game's about 6 minutes behind ours. So a bit more time there as Begley comes in looking for his first of the day. 5th of the season. Right on 50 was the plant leg and kicks the goal. 5-6-36 playing 14-6-90. 18 minutes gone, final term here on Hard Yakka Totally Workwear VFL Live.
It's getting quite dark here, boys. I need the lights on just to finish this last 5 minutes.
There are no lights here, Hilly.
There's a couple of training lights.
Just the training lights will do.
No, not even those are very high lux these days.
They don't do much training here at night, do they?
There's no training here at all.
None at all.
Essendon District Football League umpires train here, or did. But the lights are not bright enough for that now.
So where do they train?
Elsewhere.
Okay. Full time. Western Bulldogs defeating the Lions by 16 points. Collingwood look to be getting the win over Carlton. They're kicking away now. Ball back in the middle here. There's Mosquito just taken off the footy, but coming through is Begley. Long ball from the centre square to the top of the goal square. Hutchins, 1-2-3 grabber. Did well. Took the mark for Casey. Looks up. He's on the last line of defence for the Demons. He'll go outside the 50. 2-1 in favour of the Bombers, and Tynan comes in and takes the mark. Too far out to score. So he looks up. He's thinking about going to the pocket, but this time decides to square it up. Looks for an option. Finds Laguda. Bruno Laguda, who's Hasn't had these most prominent of games, but now a chance to finish it off with a goal. As we head towards time on in this final quarter, Bruno Laguda will line up and have a shot, 40 out. Steps in, just steps inside the 50 now. Little stutter steps, and his kick on the way is missed to the left-hand side. So 5-7-37 Essendon, Casey 14-6-90 as we're heading towards time on in this final quarter.
Jordan's kick toward the outer side. Big Braden Bruce puts up the mitts once more. Couldn't bring it down, but he might pick it up off the ground. There were a couple of other smaller players around it, of course. Every player on the ground is smaller than Braden Bruce. As the ball's run out of play.
Back out to 21 points at Port Melbourne, 14-7-91. The home side leading Werribee 11-14-70. And the Pies 106-87 winners over Carlton. Earlier, the Bulldogs winners over the Lads.
Buxton's in the ruck here for Casey. Won it down. It's going to be cleared away by Munro. A bit of pressure was coming, but got his kick out in time. Lafau gets away from danger. Right full ball towards half forward, looking for Smith, but D got a bit of a push on him and did well to take the mark in the end. No free kick was given away. Kick is interesting here toward Ridley. No mark was taken. McNeese with the tackle. Long did well to extract it for the Bombers. So the hand pass wasn't great. Hutchins is wrapped up by Houlihan. Ball up on this broadcast side wing. Right on the centre square line. Win number 2 for the season coming up for the Demons. Bombers, this will be their first loss. After a wonderful start to their year, every win by more than 6 goals. And Baker slipped over as he kicked it. Slightly slow to get up in front of the Essendon bench, out of bounds on the full. Free kick to be taken by McNeese, and he goes short to Long. Been good today, Long. Switching ball here. Berry, one of those Bombers that were the target of the kick. The other one was D. Casey wins it back. We're inside 50. Buxton's down there. Sandwiched by a couple of Bombers. Bouncing ball picked up. Lafau in the square. Goal for Casey. And that's his first goal of the season, Lafau. That's Casey's 15th of the day. 15-6-96 to 5-7-37. 22 gone. Final turn on Hard Jacket Totally Workwear VFL Live. It's usually around this time of the broadcast where we start discussing who Healy might target for the post-game interview at the Siren.
There's lots of options. There's been plenty of winners all over the park for Casey today.
Here's the leading disposal winner for the Demons.
That would be James Munro with 18.
Could be an option.
That shows you the even effort.
Yep, I agree.
Across the board today. I would imagine there's a ton of players on that 15-plus range for possessions. But just going down the board, Braden Bruce has been outstanding.
Tom Freeman for mine.
Tom Freeman, Oscar Baker.
Plenty of options.
Tim Smith, Mitch White.
Yep, and even performance, as you said, is we've got the ball in the middle of the ground. It's a holding the footy decision. It's going to be a free kick going the Bombers' way.
I would have thought it was a no-brainer today.
And 50.
Oh,
and 50 metres as well. And Sparrow was the player standing the mark. He runs here, Unit. He could just keep going.
Just keep running if he likes.
No, they've worked it out here, though. The defender's down there for Casey. They're not going to let him just run into an open goal. Anyway, he's directly in front. He'll be 20 outs.
He's run that far, he's got to go back now and line up.
And actually go back and have a proper shot. The run for Casey, Port Melbourne, Williamstown, Werribee, Collingwood and Box Hill. Interesting, as the kick here is a low ball, but it's a good one. For Union, he kicks a goal. And that is his first of the afternoon. And it's going to be a comfortable win here for the Demons. 15-6-96 plays 6-7-43 as we've played 23, almost 24 minutes in this final term. The Bombers run. They've got Sandringham, Richmond, the Northern Blues, and then the bye.
I believe the Sandringham game's a TV game next week. Looking over.
Sandringham haven't
Sandringham TV game.
Essendon next week.
Yeah, Sandringham haven't been setting the world on fire, so you give the Bombers a good chance of breaking back onto the winners list next week.
I'm going to circle back to my previous point.
No,
Lee.
it's not the TV game. TV game is Richmond Box Hill.
Okay. I was going to circle back here, Lee, to my previous point. I think it's a no-brainer who we get today post-game. I would have thought Braden Pruce was our main man today. 2 goals as a big man is always a good effort. Inside 50 and a free kick here to be taken against Hutchins. I'm trying to spot who the man is claiming it. It's Ridley. 23
points the margin. Port Melbourne over Werribee. They're 18 minutes into the final quarter.
Braden Pruce is definitely front of mind. The other one front of mind is probably Mitch White.
Yep. Now, just a word of warning, Adam. Whenever you're going to ask the boss a question, just give him fair warning that you're going to do it. Otherwise, you may not last too much longer.
Given you're overseas for 7 weeks in a row, I think I'm required. Goal for Ridley. His first of the day. Some junk time goals here for the Bombers.
I don't know. He brought his own headset, so he should ready to sub in at any time. He's offering.
Sure, he'll call some games while you're away. 15-6-96. Casey Essendon 7-7-49. Just adding on a couple of junk time goals now. 25.5 gone final term.
But that percentage obviously is huge for the Bombers. That'll start to come down now. It has been steadily anyway. So they do want to try and bring this margin back as much as they can. So there's a bit to play for the Bombers just to maintain that percentage, even though they're not going to get the win. Just bang on a couple more and just add some respectability to the scoreline. Back in the middle. Reid, Greensborough boy. He gets the tap down. Ball off hands. Berry trying to extract the footy. Can't. Umpire will come in and throw the ball up. 26 minutes gone in at the final term. Ruckman nominating themselves. Ball thrown up. Reid just trying to get that front position. And Spills going on the outside of the boot was Fennell. Up towards Laguda, but it's been taken away, and the Demons will get it again. Wagner, whose kick up the line is a good one, but a good contest, and it falls to Tynan. Tynan goes on the left, and he goes the short ball. This is okay, because Ridley's taken it. Oh, goes to the middle of the ground. Dangerous. Fennell had to go and get it again. He gets the handball out. Long got through the traffic, did well. Back to Tynan. Working there, McNeese. He's almost coughing up the footy land. He just dropped it at the crucial moment. And the Demons, looking to go forward, will turn over the footy, and D takes the mark. Half back. Back to Fennell. Fennell's kick into the middle of the ground finds Clark, right in the circles. And there's lots of them. 2 by 2 here at Windy Hill. 27 minutes gone. Clark's kick looking for Long. Finds him. As we wait, and Long goes with a shortish ball and turns over the footy. Goodness me. They've been terrible hitting their targets today, the Bombers, and Quigley dropped into the space to take the mark. In fact, he didn't drop into the space. He was already waiting there with open arms. 57 got it to 58, Di Pasquale. Back to 57, Quigley. Right near the interchange benches on our broadcast side. Going shorter ball into Wagner. And Wagner's kick up the line is a good one. And working his way through is Sparrow. Not Farrow, as Adam said. That went down a rabbit hole we didn't need to go down. As Farrow kicks with a shorter ball.
You just said it.
Works it to Di Pasquale. What?
You just said Farrow.
Well, so I meant Sparrow. You've infected this commentary team. Di Pasquale's kick inside the 50, and plenty of Bombers around the fall of the ball, and McNeese takes the mark.
Not much of a game this one, as you could probably imagine.
There's
Clark.
The ball here. Yep, go on, Clark.
Sorry, I thought I had it. Clark, he rushed his kick towards half forward. Laguda picks up, eventually gets his shot away. It is an empty square, but a wobbly old ball off the side of the boot takes a bounce and goes out of play as we straighten up here in the commentary box. Good win this one for Casey today. They needed it.
Maintaining their margin here, Port Melbourne, 15-9-99, playing Werribee 12-4, 76-22 gone in the final quarter.
Port Melbourne is Casey's opponent next week, and that will be right here on Hard Jacket Totally Workwear VFL Live. VFL.com.au, SEN2 as well. Boundary throw in. Laguda, does he keep this in play? He was pressured, got the handball out eventually. Snap on goal from Hocking toward the square, and the mark is taken by Jordan. That full back. So the margin here is 47 points.
Oh.
Not a great kick.
We're playing kick to kick at the moment.
Reid took the mark, got the hand pass off. Fennell. Kicked a nice goal earlier in the game. Now to chip a pass by Union's good. And a mark is taken by Ridley. Did kick a goal earlier in his final term. In fact, it was the most recent goal in the game.
Well, we've had plenty of them in the final quarter. And now for the game.
This will be the final kick of the game today. Jordan Ridley. The only thing this will affect is a little bit of percentage. Tough angle to deal with. The mark's been set at 45 metres. Right forward pocket in front of the Bowls Club. Toward the school ends at Windsor Hill. Ridley's kick is on its way, and it's a goal. A nice way to end what was a disappointing game for Essendon today. Final score 8-7-50.